This video is going to be a compilation video of some sorts, where I will show you which recon arrows you need to know if you are a Sova player. I will show you my most used recon arrows that in my opinion you need to know and use these arrows on a daily basis. I will not be explaining the details on how to line it up, as those have all been shown in my previous videos. I will though explain why are they important and why you need to know them. So let's get right into it. There are three different positions that I like to throw this arrow from. First one is going to be from the corner of this box. We'll simply do the lineup. Second charge. This arrow needs to land somewhere on this wall. It clears literally everything on the side except people who might be playing under heaven and people who are playing in heaven. But everything else is going to be spotted on the side, and you can be 100% sure that nobody is hiding in any of the corners. The second position I like to do it is from this box. I'll just go right into this corner. Aim somewhere right here. Line it up, second charge. Does the same job as the one before. Again, it needs to land on this wall and it clears the whole site. In some cases, you might find yourself executing from mid catwalk. You need to make sure that you have one teammate watching this. You will simply go into this corner, aim slightly right out of this sticking part right here. Do a second charge. Lands the same spot on the same wall, clears the same side. When it comes to B side, unfortunately there is no arrow that can cover the whole side and also back side. So I simply use two different arrows here. First one I use to clear the front side. Go into this corner, you aim left of the giraffe's nose, you just fully charge it. The arrow is gonna clear all of this. He's gonna clear this guy. He can hide here and crouch, but if he does that, like you should be able to easily get a pick from here. The second one is also pretty straightforward. You're just gonna fully charge it into the left tree right here. And that one clears the whole side, but it doesn't clear the back side inside here. So these are the two arrows that I use for B. When it comes to defense, it's also pretty straightforward. The one arrow that I like to use on A is from this corner right here. Gonna aim right here, second charge. The arrow needs to land exactly like this on anywhere on this part right here. The reason why it's good is scans all of this, and if they try to be sneaky and run past it, it scans all of this. On B, pretty much the most OP thing is playing right here and just wall banging this, shooting a very fast arrow, recon arrow here, and if someone gets spotted, you use your either op or sheriff or Odin or RS. So what I like to do, I just simply, lineup doesn't need to be perfect, I just like to line up myself with this. I shoot a quick arrow here as soon as the round starts. I swap to Odin, crouch, right click, and just spray here or like whatever the enemy appears. Also another arrow for mid, in case you're like playing B here, like I showed you previously. What I like to do is I like to get stuck right here and aim literally like in the middle of this, like right under. Do two bounces and a full charge. I'm gonna start by showing you the one arrow on B that I absolutely use almost every round at the beginning of the round, if we are working towards B. And then when we're executing, if we're gonna execute B, I repeat the same arrow that is also good for executing. You're gonna line up with the middle of this part on the wall right here. The lineup is really simple, I already showed it in the video, but when explained here, you just put 0 in bounces right in this corner like this. Now the second charge. The arrow is literally perfect. Scans all of this. Scans complete ciphers who might be just playing here and playing with their camera. Scans all of this area right here, everything. Doesn't scan this though, but nobody really plays here, and doesn't really scan this part, but nobody really plays here. Also, most importantly, it scans all of this as well, and it also scans rafters, like pretty much everything up until like here. This is like where it goes. There's two arrows that I like to use for A. You can use them at the beginning of the round to make sure that the operator is not holding the angle aggressively, or to see who is playing on A and where, or you can use them in executes as well. So the first one will go right here. It's a very simple one. You put your charge bar bottom line with this and you aim in the middle of like this whole thing. You just do a second charge. This arrow is important because it clears this, all of this, clears this, and it clears this. So when you're running into sight, an arrow doesn't get destroyed, it gets at least one scan. You don't know 100% that nobody's here, and you literally don't even need to look left. You just focus all of your attention on the right side, which they can be hiding right here. The second arrow is going to be if your team wants to work their way up the A ramp and end up in A tower. So they're afraid that op might be peeking there, or someone might be hiding there. What I like to do, line up myself with the middle of this ball right here. Just simply aim in this corner right here, do a second charge. The arrow lands right here, clears all of the outside, clears people hiding behind the box here, or somebody might even sneak up here. Clears all of this area, and it's pretty much free for taking. When it comes to split defense, there's only one absolutely godlike arrow that scans everything on A and reveals all of the enemies if they're preparing to attack on A and execute on A. What you will do, go right into this corner. Lineup is very simple with this building right here. You put your crosshair like this, it's a second charge. It needs to land exactly on this little part. What it does, it's gonna scan all the way back, like back here. They can only hide like here. Scans all the way back here. Scans all of this and even scans inside here. So they can't even hide here. They can only hide here. Very good arrow, and even if they pushed out, it's gonna catch them off guard even here. Of course, if you're playing A on defense and split every round, you don't want to use that godlike arrow every round because it's going to get pre-aimed and destroyed. So another two variations that I have is if I'm playing on site, there's a simple arrow on the beginning of a round that you can just shoot in this billboard right here, just like that on the edge. It's going to do pretty much the same job as every other arrow, except it's not gonna scan inside here. And the second one, if you're playing in A tower, line up middle with this and just simply one bounce full charge into the middle of this.
Revealing area.
Also adds a little bit of variation into your arrows, so they don't instantly pre-aim right here and just shoot your arrow immediately. When it comes to B, I honestly wouldn't recommend that you play solo B as a Sova, as it's really bad and there's nothing you can do if they rush you because you have no utility to pretty much stop anyone. So what I do if I have to play solo B, I like to be super aggressive pretty much every single round. And the one arrow that I use is this one. You line up this edge with this edge of the wall like this. Then you just simply crouch and you'll just aim like somewhere here. You do double bounce and full charge.
Revealing area.
This arrow is gonna hit here. It's gonna scan inside, it's gonna scan a little bit inside here. Most importantly, it's gonna scan the guy that's holding this angle and it's gonna force him to turn away. First, very simple, you don't need to do any lineup. As soon as the gate opens, you just full charge, one bounce an arrow off this wall, clear out showers, your teammates can push aggressively if you know no one's holding it aggressively, and you're good to go. Second arrow for executing B. Doesn't need to be perfect. Line up like this. Aim at the second white window right here. Second charge. It goes backside. Scans all the backside. This is gonna be smoked. Assuming you're gonna have a smoker in your team, so shouldn't worry about this. Clear all these angles. You're good to go. Third arrow, I like to go into this corner. Second vertical line in my charge bar. Put it like this.
Revealing
Third
area.
charge. You can use it also as a shock dart. Goes right here. Scans an operator holding this angle. Scans if people are hiding inside here. Really good arrow, unexpected. You're gonna definitely get one scan off before it like gets noticed, so don't overuse it. If you want a proper execute arrow for B, this is the one that I use. Make sure your teammates have hookah control. Line up this wall with this wall right here. Like this. You're gonna see this part right here. Drag it down until you get about right here in the gray area. Gonna do one bounce. Third charge. Good execute arrow that clears the whole backside. Clears this. Clears someone standing here. Clears this. Clears this. Clears this angle as well. Doesn't clear inside, but it doesn't matter. You can throw a raise nade or like do whatever you want there to clear that part. Or just be aware of it if nobody's out on the backside. Also, if you find yourself on B long and you have garden clear, you have teammates in front of you, the one arrow that I like to use, I just simply shoot it on this wall right here, because this arrow clears this and it also clears inside. So this is the arrow that I use if I want to clear inside. When it comes to defense, there's a lot of things that you can do with the arrows to help your teammates push and take map control, or just simply reveal the enemies at the beginning of the round to know what exactly they're doing. So I'm going to show you a couple of them that I like to use, and I'm going to explain what they do and why I think they're very useful. First, if you find yourself playing on the B in defense and you want to be aggressive on B long, before the round starts, there's going to be a barrier here. You line up yourself with the barrier. You're going to see a little broken part right here. You aim a little bit right of it. You do one bounce, third charge. This arrow is going to slow down enemies pushing up. They're going to have to turn around and shoot the arrow, or they're going to get scanned. Next up, if you're still on B and your teammates want to go aggressively in hookah, see if they can push out, maybe catch someone off guard. I like to go in this corner right here. Just aim somewhere here, doesn't need to be perfect. Do a second charge. The arrow lands right here. It's super fast, it's super good. It's gonna scan all the way down to this. It's gonna scan all the way up to here. Your teammates can simply just wait here for the scan, do the flashes, do the omens, blinds, and just peek off of that. The one arrow that I do if I'm on A and my teammates want to aggress on A long, I can shoot the arrow A long and help them reveal. B long. What I simply do is I look at this and I line up the point of the arrow like that, and I do a third charge. This arrow lands right here. Takes a few seconds to land and should get at least one scan off. Next we have the arrow from the same position that reveals in front of hookah. Takes about the same time to travel. You look pretty much here with your UI icon and your HP. You also do a third charge. Most of the time I use this one. I go into this corner. I look in between this and this with my vertical line in my charge bar, my first one, like this. Do a second charge. Drops here, scans all of this and even scans like deep inside. And lastly we have Haven. Starting on attack, I'm gonna show you probably one of my most used arrow on Haven is arrow for A long on the beginning of the round to see if anyone is pushing or if the operator is holding this cross right here. I simply go into this corner. I found this little bit curve on the tree. I aim slightly under it and I do second charge. The arrow lands right here. Stops anyone from pushing up, from hiding here, from maybe even backing off. You're gonna see them. And if they're holding this angle, they're gonna have to like look up, turn around, shoot the, and then back off. Next we have an arrow, fast arrow for garage. I started using this not too long ago. It's decent arrow if you want to stop someone from like going aggressively engage. So before the round starts, you line up yourself with the barrier, you simply aim here, double bounce, third charge, it bounces aside, stops the enemy from going aggressively, they're gonna have to turn around or they're gonna get scanned. If there's an enemy operator playing on top of B boxes, I started also using this arrow. Go into this corner right here. You're gonna put your first vertical line in your charge bar, you're gonna line it up with this. So it's something that looks something like this. Then you're gonna do 2 bounces, third charge. This one lands right here and it clears everything that's on top. Now when it comes to lineups for executes, for C you have a very simple one that you go into this corner and you just aim in this dark part of the leaf, the second charge. The arrow goes backside, clears everything in the back, you're free to enter, clears you on the front, both of these corners, you're good to go. Next up we have a lineup arrow for execute on A. Also very simple. You go into this corner, you're gonna see this light bulb here, you're gonna put your second vertical line right in the middle of it, and then you're gonna drag it down until you have it somewhere about like this. Then you're gonna simply do a second charge. Now this arrow is very good. It lands right here. As you can see, it clears this angle fully. The most importantly, it clears this angle because it lands just right about here. Right above here, and this scans this corner as well. If he moves even an inch, your teammate that's holding this angle should clear this off. And everything else on the side is also scanned. Everything apart them coming from CT. Very good arrow, very easy to line up, and literally clears everything on site. When it comes to defense, and if you're playing on A, there's 2 arrows that I like to use. First one, you line up yourself before the round starts with this. You're gonna look at this light bulb, you put the second diamond on the left side of the light bulb, it gives you the second charge. This arrow is good because it lands pretty fast. It lands right here and it scans super deep inside, so you can see if they're preparing to go A or if they just have like Cypher lurking on A and not planning to do anything on A. The second arrow is when the barrier is on. You're gonna line up yourself in this corner where the barrier is. It should be like somewhere like this. And then all you're gonna do is you just aim right here. You do 2 bounces, you do 1 bounce and full charge. Not 2 bounces, you do 1 bounce. This is when you wanna be aggressive. It goes right here. Usually they're gonna either smoke here or they're gonna use Cypher cage to cross. This arrow is gonna stop them from crossing, so if they use the Cypher cage, your arrow doesn't get shot or it doesn't scan anyone, that means that nobody crossed. So you should feel safe to push up and continue holding this angle so they can waste more utility on faking you. And the last 2 arrows I use when I play on C in defense. The first one, line up this edge to this edge right here. You're gonna look right here with your left vertical line in your charge bar, and you're gonna move it right until your right vertical line just touches a wire a little bit, just like this. You do a second charge. It lands right here in the back, scans all of this. You're gonna have to turn around to shoot it. It also scans right here. It lands right here, so it also scans this part right there. It won't scan them here, but nonetheless it's still a decent arrow that I like to use almost every round when I'm on C. Also, you need to be versatile a little bit, so you need to have like a different arrow as well. So what I use, I go in this corner and I simply aim in this edge of the building, 2 bounces, full charge. This one's gonna bounce 2 times, lands right here, scans all of this, scans all of this. It also can be used as a shock dart because this is where they enter, and it's super fast and it pretty much clears everything. So this is gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The reason why I decided to make this video is because I see a lot of Sova players not knowing any of these basic arrows missing them, throwing them randomly that they don't reveal anything. So you think they actually reveal something and you think it's clear, but they actually missed the arrow and you get killed by a guy camping in the corner that should have been revealed. So if you're one of those players, I made this video for you. Learn all of these basic arrows. They're very simple, they're very easy. If you want to have a different lineup or line it up from a different spot, line it up from wherever you want, but they need to land exactly where I showed you. Well, not exactly, but they need to land roughly around the same spot so they can scan the area that is important. Also, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing, drop a like on this video. If you have any questions about the arrows and lineups, feel free to comment. I'm responding to pretty much every single comment. Again, thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.